Oh my god, you guys. I love this cartoon. This has got to be one of my absolute favorite Roadrunner cartoons. I'll get more into it in a little bit here, but they got animators up there, and one of them is uncredited. Corny Cole. Corny Cole doesn't get any credit on this, and that's a shame because he deserves it. He works hard. Corny Cole, by the way, if you want a very telling and entertaining and interesting and funny and real and raw interview about what it was like back in these days when these cartoons were made at the studio, look up just Google interview Corny Cole. The man knows how to tell a story. Now, there's no voice work in this. There's no dialogue. But it does need to go with saying that we hear beeps because it's a Roadrunner cartoon. Thank you. And by the way, he's going to come up and use the beep to scare Wiley here. Here's what I'm talking about. The legendary beep beep. Beep beep. It's a little pitched up there, but it's the standard beep beep, and that is Paul Julian. Background man Paul Julian. Now, with all due respect to Paul Julian, he wishes he was the guy doing the layouts for the backgrounds. He was a background painter, but he didn't do the backgrounds for the paintings. This is all it's all Murray Snow. I'm sorry, I'm watching the cartoon. This is literally one of my favorite cartoons. This is one of the cartoons that if it's on, I'll watch it, and I'll get caught up in it because even though I know what's gonna happen every time, it's just executed so brilliantly. And this is one of those times when the symbiont relationship between Chuck and his unit and his animators and and everybody just was on all 8 cylinders, Maltese, and although this is a transitional period, I should mention, because this is kind of a cartoon that arrived late in the game. Because the music, you may have noticed in the credits there, it's credited to Carl Stalling and Milt Franklin. Because this is around the 2-year period when Carl Stalling was getting ready to retire, and Milt Franklin was becoming the music director. Franklin came in as an arranger for Carl Stalling in 1938. So there's like 2 years of cartoons done, in this time in 1957 and 1958, when Carl Stalling and Milt Franklin both get music credit. And this is one of those times, you see. I think this next gag coming up is the one. Yes. No. Gosh darn it. There's a gag in this cartoon that just... It's interesting because it so relies on surprise. And yet, every time I watch it, I laugh. This is it right here. It's very easy to set up. You see the... God damn it. We're never going to get to the thing that I want to see. I also remember the layouts of the Roadrunner were in Chuck's book, and just seeing all the pencil strokes, and they were so confident, and he was at the top of his game when he did this cartoon. This is the gag. The gullet. And you can see that he spent all this time making this long slide down for this bomb. He lights it. Every time it gets me because I realize that it's not just the surprise of it. It's the look on his face right after it happens. He's so mad, but he's so hurt. He's so physically hurt and mad at the same time. And this is I played all that there because this is Treg Brown at his absolute best, using sound effects that are not at all what was actually reflecting of what happened on screen. None of these sound effects match up to the actions that he's actually doing, and Chuck didn't ask for it. He just gave it, and when he saw it, it was just, this is brilliant. So yeah, there's so much about this cartoon, and it's one of the last great Roadrunner cartoons, which is really a good note to end on. All right, everybody. Thanks for sitting in with me. We'll see you next week.